Are you ready for tough questions? Deep conversations. Unbiased answers. Well then, hold on to your seat and get ready. We welcome you to the conversation seat. No question or answer is off limits.
Welcome everyone to the first episode of the Conversation Seat. This is the place where we sit down, get real, talk about the things that truly matter in life. Today, I'm excited because we're starting strong. My guest is an author, a thinker, and someone who lives the kind of journey that speaks to both faith and finance. His book, Faith and Money Relations, dives into how the two connect and why so many of us struggle when we separate them. Andre, welcome to the Conversation Seat. Tell us, what inspired you to bring faith and money together in a book?
Well, Tom, it all started from frustration.
Frustration, That sounds like the spark. What was weighing on you most?
To be honest, it was financial struggle. I was battling with God and myself.
That's deep, Andre. How did that battle shape your view of faith and money?
Not to be confusing, that's not even what did it. It was something totally different.
Oh, really? Then what was the real turning point for you?
Thanks for asking. I've been in the security industry for 19 years. I also did gig work, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, etc. Anyone who does gig work knows there are good days and bad days. On this particular bad day, I was parked on the side waiting for an order. It never came. At that point, I thought to myself, what the hell is going on?
Man, I can feel that. Sitting there waiting, hoping something comes through, and it doesn't. That hits hard. It's like the world's moving, but you're stuck in place. What was going through your mind at that moment, Andre?
This is going to be very controversial, Tom, but it's real. 3 words. Screw you, God.
Wow. That's raw, Andre. And I respect you for being that honest. A lot of people feel that way deep down, but are too afraid to admit it. What brought you to say those words out loud?
Disheartened, fed up, tired of being tired. I felt like, how am I getting the short end of things? First of all, I said, hey, I'm supposed to be a child of God, right? Then I said, you know what? I'm not out here doing God knows what. You know what I mean, Tom. Then it hit me. I have all this knowledge on wealth, on faith. Why isn't it working? That's the question, right?
Exactly. That is the question. You had the faith, you had the knowledge, but the results weren't lining up. That gap right there, that's where the struggle really lives. So what did you discover when you started digging into that?
Proverbs 11:25. Are you familiar with this verse, Tom?
I am. The generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. How verse? How did this speak to your situation, Andre?
Well, Tom, I've always been a helper. I figured, why not share what I know, what I've been through? Maybe it will benefit others, even though it was a slow road for me at that time.
That makes sense. Sometimes the very thing we wrestle with ends up being the gift we give others. So when you started sharing, how did that change your outlook and maybe even your result?
To be honest, you're screaming it loud live on TV right now.
Come on, pray tell. We're all dying to know the secret.
It's one of the biggest secrets known to man. Few unlock it.
I mean, don't keep us all in suspense, Andre. What's the secret?
You already know.
Of course I do.
Trust the process. Sadly, I wasn't seeing it then, but now I understand.
Yeah, That's the beauty of it. Sometimes we can't see the process while we're in it, but once it clicks, everything changes. Andre, that realization, is that what led you to put faith and money relations into the world?
It was that and some. It was a whole lot there, Tom.
I hear you. Usually it's not just one thing. It's layers on top of layers. What were some of those other pieces that pushed you to finally write the book?
3 words, Tom. The corporate system.
Oh, now that's big. The corporate system. We've got to unpack that. But first, a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Life tests us. Faith guides us. And money, it challenges us every day. In Faith and Money Relations, discover how to overcome struggles, build strength in God, and transform your relationship with money. Start your journey today. Get your free 19-page sample now.
Welcome back. Faith and money is being dissected, the ins and outs. Let's go deeper into the corporate system.
Well, here's the tea. This may be controversial, but are you familiar with John D. Rockefeller?
I am one of the most powerful, and let's be honest, most controversial figures in history. Where are you going with this, Andre?
Well, I'm going back to the famous statement, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers.
Yeah, that line says it all, keeping people trained to follow instead of empowered to lead. How did that idea hit you personally?
This is very cliche, and I hate to go this route. Being an African American, a black man, here in America, it's a clear reflection of black history and culture.
I get that, and it's not cliche at all. It's reality. The system has shaped so much of that experience. How do you see that history connecting with the struggles around faith and money today?
Good question. But going back to culture, if we look at other ethnicities, we find that their mind is like the black mind. Let's take entertainment for example, specifically music. Mainly, especially today, what's being pushed is the disrespect of black life, black women, and vanity. You don't see a lot of that from other races, except if it's a trend or a copy.
You're right. So much of what's pushed in mainstream media today feels destructive, especially in how it shapes culture and self-image. Why do you think that message gets so much more spotlight than the positive voices out there?
Well, that's a whole rabbit hole we are not prepared to traverse.
Fair enough, Andre. We'll save that rabbit hole for another seat at the table. But let me ask you this. If not through the mainstream, where do you see the hope of shifting the culture?
Through the mind, the spirit, through faith. Do you know what faith is?
Faith, to me, is trusting in what you can't see but know it's real. How do you define it, Andre?
There you go. You hit it on the head. Faith is trust. We change the culture. We change lives by showing and teaching them how to, number one, trust in God and trust themselves and believe in their abilities.
Exactly. When people start trusting God and themselves, that's when real change sparks. Andre, is that the heartbeat behind faith and money relations?
100%. I had to trust God. I had to trust me.
And that's powerful, man, because once you tapped into that trust, it wasn't just about money anymore. It was about purpose. How did that shift start showing up in your life?
A lot of people are expecting, oh, God showed up and made the weather clear again. Or, man, doors burst open. Or, bye-bye bad days. Hello, sunshine. On the contrary, the exact opposite happened.
Really? So instead of life getting easier, it actually got tougher. What did those challenges teach you about walking in faith? For real?
I won't sit here and be a hypocrite and say, oh, I leaned harder on God. No, in fact, I doubt it hard. I began to believe that, heck, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was delusional all this time. Maybe there isn't a God. But a few years later, I came across a very intelligent and wise man. His name is Myron Golden. I call him Dr. Golden. I hope he doesn't mind my high praise in quoting him shortly.
Oh, yes. I've heard of Dr. Myron Golden. He's known for blending biblical wisdom with practical business insight. What was it about his words that hit you so deeply in that season?
This one statement: disaster follows intent.
Disaster follows intent. That's powerful, Andre. That really hits on how our focus and actions shape outcomes. We're going to unpack that more after a quick break, so stay with us.
Most people don't fail because of faith. They fail because they never connect faith with money. Faith and money relations shows you how. Grab your free 19-page sample today.
Welcome back to the conversation seat. If you just joined us, we're diving deep with Andre, author of Faith and Money Relations. Before the break, we touched on that powerful idea: disaster follows intent. Andre, let's pick up right there. How did that statement change the way you approach faith and finances?
It's been said that the Bible is a manual for everyday life. When Dr. Golden said that, I was confused. Then he explained it and backed it up with scripture. He showed us Genesis 1:1-2, when God makes heaven and earth right after darkness appears, citing that God's intent was to create, and darkness came to disrupt the plan. The intention: destroy the faith.
Ah, I see. So even from the very beginning, there's a pattern. Intention meets resistance. That really frames life differently, doesn't it? How did that perspective shift the way you acted on your own intentions?
Honestly, knowing that truth gave me hope. I started thinking about video games. When you progress to the next level, you encounter more enemies. Whenever we're lost and don't see enemies, we know we are either going the wrong way or backwards. Ironically, we get happy when we see new enemies. It lets us know, this is the right way. I'm almost there.
That's a great analogy, Andre. Life as a progression system. So instead of fearing challenges, you started seeing them as signs you're on the right path. How did embracing that mindset change your approach to both faith and wealth?
Are you familiar with the whole all things work in my favor?
I am. It's a powerful declaration, but often misunderstood. How do you interpret it, Andre, especially after facing so many challenges?
By believing and literally trusting the process. You know how food is cooked? Trust the process. Trust me. I know. When you're going through bull, trust the process and hold on is the last thing you want to hear. I felt like that for a while, but I've learned and is learning. The faster you trust the process, the faster change will come.
Absolutely. Trusting the process when everything feels upside down is tough. But it's exactly that trust that accelerates the breakthrough. Andre, what would you say to someone who's struggling to hold on right now?
Find a secluded place in your home or outside. Yell and scream at the top of your lungs. Punch a pillow, the ground. Stomp your feet. Cry. Shout, why? Let it all out. When done, straighten your tie. Fix your skirt. Hold up your head and keep walking.
Wow, that's powerful, Andre. Sometimes healing starts with just letting it all out and then choosing to stand up and keep walking. And that's exactly why we created the conversation seat, to have real, raw talks like this. Andre, Thank you for opening up your story and your heart tonight. To everyone listening, remember, your process has purpose. Keep trusting, keep walking. We'll see you next time right here on The Conversation Seat.